Hey everybody, how's everybody doing tonight? Happy Friday to you all. What a long week we have had. Um, Tremendous Bitcoin price action, lots of volatile movements, lots of interesting information on our ETF speculation. Just so much going on, so let's get to it. First of all, my name is Big Chonis. You guys can find me on Twitter. I am at Big Chonis. These are my best ideas. I take technical analysis very seriously. I am a crypto trader, a mentor, a chart psychologist, an investor, a photographer, a chef. Please do your own research. If you guys like this video here, please give me a thumbs up and tell your friends. And once again, thank you so much for my 20,000 breakout. Um, just truly honored. I've been on Twitter since March, and I've put in a lot of hard work. I feel in my content, trying to trying to provide you guys with just some of the things I see out there in the charts and interesting moments of chart confliction where prices tend to move volatile. And, I love Bitcoin, I love crypto, and I like putting out this kind of content, and you guys seem to like it too. So once again, I'm truly honored. Thank you so much for 20,000. I just want to say a quick hello to everybody in the chat room here. Hey, Thomas. Hey, Circlestad. Thanks so much for the congratulations there. What's up, Kevin? Yeah, we can definitely do some alts tonight. Hey Thomas, hey Annabelle, Chief Hightower, hey Tony, hey Bud, Crypto Natural, Pavel, what's up, Skeeter? Thank you. I try and bring clarity to everybody here. And once again, guys, thank you so much. So let's get into Bitcoin here. I wanted to start with our daily chart here. I've kind of hidden all my stuff for now, and I just wanted to bring up the daily candle and kind of the cloud here because this is our 1 day cloud. Remember, when you're on a higher time frame, I like higher time frames when I use the cloud. I have changed some of my cloud parameters to reflect 20, 60, 120, 30. Kind of more suited for cryptos 24-hour. And what we're looking at here is, we're about an hour away, hour 20 minutes away or so, from a very beautiful looking green candle here. Now we have a nice bottom wick here that shows that bulb action happened and we were able to buy up. Okay, we have a little wick currently on top. As I said, we have an hour to go, so the bulls want to keep this wick on top here as small as possible. I want to close out, this candle here as strong as possible as well. Now we clearly have a bullish um, engulfing on this daily, where basically the body is engulfing the previous day's candle body. Now, ideally, to be a true super duper bullish engulfing, it'd be nice to engulf, kind of the entirety of the previous candle's body and wick, but I will take this one as it is. We're also halfway through the cloud here. Now, remember when we were back down here, how the bottom of the cloud was acting as very strong resistance, where we were able to poke our heads into it several times throughout the day, but unable to close into it in the daily. And then once we basically had this break into it, all bets were off and we were just flowing through it. So normally when you break into a cloud pattern, these tend to continue to the other end of the cloud. Now, the other end of the cloud is not necessarily the top here, currently at 87.37. These things tend to go sideways, so there's a possibility that this side barrier of the cloud could be tested potentially quicker or sooner than the upper part of our cloud here. And this side barrier basically ranges anywhere from 85, all the way down to $8,000 there. Now our lower cloud here will act as support if the price really starts to fade back down into these areas here, and we see basically this is still in the very low 7,000 ranges. So there's more often and more likely that we're going to continue to try and push higher. Now this nasty red line here, this is our 200-day MA on our daily chart, currently at 85.63 and falling here. So this is very strong resistance. You can see here how we came close to it back in the end of April. We got close touching it, we didn't touch it, got close again touching it, we didn't touch it. So we weren't even trying to touch it. That's how strong this resistance is. We can see here when we broke through it, we were able to punch back up and found support on it, which is what you want to see when you are able to break it. And once that support basically was held, we could see that this bullish run continued. But once we broke it again, we came back to retest it and got a very firm rejection right here, right there. And because of that, this red line has been strong ever since. And now we are once again getting close into the area here to potentially retest it. I always forget to do that, to potentially retest it. We also have our 55 EMA, which is our yellow line here, rising up. And we have our 100 EMA as well. So our pricing is kind of sandwiched between our 100 and 200 here. Let's look at some indicators here. We have our RSI. So this is our daily RSI here. Now, this is healthy. I mean, you know, when you're down in these regions down here, this is kind of tired and weak RSI. Remember, RSI stands for Relative Strength Index. So it's showing the strength. It's basically showing that when there's dips, money and money flow is coming in and the price is basically being bought up. And that's definitely something that you want to continue to see there. What we're seeing here is kind of a support zone right here, okay? And we're finding our resistance zone still kind of under that 30 area. Now, this was our line here. Let me squeeze this down. There we go. This was our support channel. And it was pretty strong and it had a really nice flow to it. Yeah, that's good. So you see how we broke, get rid of that guy for a second. So this was our really nice support channel on our daily SI and we broke it. Okay, so that was bad because this was continuing our really nice strong bullish movement. We had this pullback here. So now we're talking about this area here. Now we have already set a resistance line. This is our new resistance line that we're going to watch, because currently that's where we're being rejected. And we have our overall horizontal line, I'd say somewhere here. So we're very tight in this area here on our daily chart. And these are, you know, basically if you're over 50, which is about right here in your daily RSI, it's a very healthy, potentially very bullish chart. Basically, it shows there's consistent money flow still coming into Bitcoin, and that's kind of cool. So that's kind of what you want to see. So nothing here tells me the bulls have given up or anything. They're clearly still in control until we basically break, I'd say, the 64 line, because currently this is your line there that's holding all this RSI price up. If we start breaking 64 and hold it, then we start talking about a weakening potentially in the market. But we're not there yet. So this RSI still remains very strong. Looking here at our stochastics here, remember this is our daily stochastics. Now we actually have a correction still in progress. We go back here to beginning of July. We were there from the 1st of July to the 9th. We had 9 days up in this above 90 region. Same deal. We were here from the 18th to the 26th, 6, 7, 8 days. So perfect. So 8 or 9 days we're up in this bullish region here, which is basically above 80 in our stochastics. And you can clearly see we are breaking down here. Now, this is our daily. This hasn't closed yet here. So if we close very strong, there's a chance this blue line here could kind of pop back up. But we're not seeing that yet. And if it doesn't, then basically this shows we could be beginning continually to basically find a more of a correction trend here. Now, you can see we don't always get low. We don't always get like down here quickly. There's a lot of kind of, I mean, we do sometimes, you know, obviously you can see right here, this is an example where this move here happened really quickly here. But we can also see signs where we kind of correct, bounce around, do a failed rally, and then basically continue to correct. So we're going to see how this plays out. Remember, we came down quick last time, had a very quick reset here from the 13th, 14th, 15th, then shot right back up again. But because we were able to correct so far down, it gave this the momentum to push back up. So the bigger the correction, the longer the next push can be. So this is healthy, but this is still showing a tendency of bearishness in the daily chart a little bit, kind of corresponding with the weakening of the RSI. But our OBV, remember, we got that dip and then it was bought up again here. So we got a buy up, but we're a little bearishly diverging on our OBV. I would have liked to see this a little bit higher, considering we were at 85, 84. We went to 78, and now we're back to what, 82.50. So this should be a little bit higher if it was going to be comparable with that move down and then kind of that move up that we saw. So a little bit of bearishness there. So let's go to our 4-hour here, and I've brought up my yeah, we'll kind of hide our cloud for a moment. Perfect. So this is our channel I've been following here. Now, I adjust my channels quite a bit. You know, I think I have it set, and then there's a price action, and I'm like, oh, obviously that was the bottom. But I really like this one now, how we had this breakout rejection here, couldn't get through it. And then our initial breakout basically started our bull channel here. This sets our middle median line here. We tested bottom support here with this just straight sideways price action. And as soon as we tested it and held it, boom, we just shot back to the top. We had a FOMO wick. I always like to see a wick poke out, basically showing a bear traps can exist. This is a pure example of that. Now, when we corrected, we were finding support on our middle channel line here for several hours, you know, and then once that broke, it broke viciously. You know, so that was kind of the thing that was like, oh, we're probably going to correct down here. But when we came down, we never got to the bottom. And we started to have this nice turnover here where people thought, oh, this is the correction, it's over. But it wasn't. We had one more dip down where we found beautiful support. Just beautiful support on our lower channel support there. And then boom. Now, there's a lot of speculation about what caused this nice bullish push here. I'll go to a lower time frame. Let's go to our hourly. There we go. So a couple things were happening like right here in this time period. I believe it was the CME futures. Basically, they expired, started a new cycle, and that potentially could have caused this nice bullish push. People were waiting for that to close out and then basically open up new long contracts. There was an SEC commissioner who voted in favor of moving forward with an ETF. Basically said she put out an interview talking about why she was pro the ETF and kind of adding a little bit of that positive FUD that we like to see, not the negative FUD that basically caused this pullback here. So there's factors involved in this. A lot of this is kind of fake and bake, but until we can break, you know, this area here, which was basically our rejection of our bullish continuation when we topped out here around $8,500. So now we're coming back here, okay, and we haven't touched it yet, okay? So nothing's really happened, in my opinion. I basically will negate all this and just assume this is just a sideways pattern here, right? You know, because literally this almost didn't happen if we can break through this resistance area. But why haven't we broken through it yet? It's because we're finding resistance on our middle channel here. Our middle channel that has acted as support over here, broken here. When we break a major area of support, major line of support, okay, we come down, we zip back up, and now we're kind of tested again. So a break of this middle channel support would be a very bullish sign, in my opinion, and would probably put our upper channel resistance line test back in play. And who knows how fast this could happen. I mean, if you have a bull candle push through, you know, this can rocket pretty quickly. This is the hourly chart here. You get a really nice candle here. Our differential between where this is now about 82.50 to 87.50. So yeah, like this bull break would definitely put Bitcoin about 87.50 to $800. If it happened really quick, it could basically be about $8,700 even. But I would think it would take like several bars of really strong bullish to push it to about 87.50, let's call it. But that still keeps us bound in this bullish, though channel bound overall move. Now this channel can take Bitcoin to 9,000 if it wanted to, if we had that much of the bullish momentum there. Let's look at our volume here and take a look at what we got here. Now that sell-off we had a couple was it yesterday, that was fierce. And I wanted to bring up this is BitMEX. This is their 4-hour chart, and this right here is that red candle here. This is the 4-hour. This was the biggest 4-hour red sell-off candle that BitMEX had ever had in its history, and that's crazy. And I wanted to bring up BitMEX because this is the site where you can leverage up to 100x, which is just ridiculous. But I wanted to keep your attention to this cluster of volume price here, which basically started at the beginning of our nice little run we've had here, when we basically broke 6,000, kind of tested again, held up, and then boom. This volume, there's a lot of money flowing into Bitcoin right now. A lot of money is being played with right now. Okay, so. And you can see how comparatively, this was our peak at 20,000. See how that volume has been kind of almost, it was increasing a lot. We had a really lot going on here. We had a very quiet area here. And then recently, we've just been boom, boom, boom. Now, because this is leverage, this can go both ways. Remember, people can totally short this market here. So that's why I want to bring this up, though, just showing the interest that's happening right here. There's a lot of money in this volume cluster here, and that swings both ways. You can have really quick dips, and then you can really have really quick nice green candles. We saw that similarly over here as well. Back to Bitcoin. So we are flagging here. Now this is a bullish pattern here. You have to admit this is a ascending bull flag, basically, where instead of something where you basically come down after you have a nice green candle, this is still shooting up with a tightening range. Let's go closer. Let's go 30-minute. Let's auto it up. Okay, so we clearly see our lines of support and resistance here. This is a very tight, right? It's boom right there. Are we holding that right now? Maybe not. And then again, we're butting up against our middle channel resistance line there, right here. But that's a beautiful looking, ascending kind of triangle right there. So we might bounce around in here. Okay, and at some point between now and the apex, and these breaks tend to happen around this area, like a little, they always seem to leave like a little piece of pizza left right at the apex. I keep seeing that they'll break bearish and then come back up bullishly right at the apex, or they'll break bullish and then come back down bearishly at the apex here. So I still assume potentially several more hours of this confinement of price before we see a volume test. Now look at our volume here. It's getting really low. So two things are happening here. Selling is drying up, okay? The buying has not kicked in yet. One of these will break. One of the things will basically happen is bulls will basically figure out that, okay, the selling is done, this thing only has upward potential. Or is this a chance where the bulls are basically like, or the bears are like, we're not getting our buyers coming in, and we're just going to kind of, just capitulate and basically say, okay, we've made our nice money on this little run here, but we're kind of pull it back. I just want to bring up the 4-hour once again, and a couple more indicators here, and then we can definitely chalk it up in the chat room here. So this is our RSI. Now you see where we bottomed here. Let's get the horizontal up. Okay, why do we bottom right there? Why do we find a really nice V bottom there in our 4-hour? That corresponds right at 44, which is a cluster of price history here. Resistance, support held, broke it, hugged it, back over it, held it. Little wiggle right here. So there's history here. This was our next area of history on our RSI. A bear break of that would put this area right there, right here, at 37. So that's something to keep an eye on as well. If we go bearishly once again, a 37 area on our 4-hour RSI, is the last area of very interesting support and resistance. So similar to why we had this bounce right here. But where are our resistances now if this thing comes up? Yeah, I kind of want to keep it there because I like how this was rejected. I like how this was rejected. I like how this was topped off. But this is I'll give this a couple points here and there, but it's somewhere about right here, right where the price is right now. Remember, this was a quick turnaround in our RSI here, but we have a rejection zone right in here. This is going to be strong. This is where the rallies fail. You know, this line here on the 4-hour could be where these rallies fail here, you know, so keep an eye on that, especially the 4-hour. I love the 4-hour, but we see we're still on a bullish up moving here in our stochastics. Okay, so we like to see that as well. This is still showing bullish, very, very strong bullishness here. Remember, we kind of trickled up quickly here, came down really fast. Our double bottom, we always like to see that. Similar right here, double bottom. Now we're shooting back up. Can we get up here? You know, this would be another situation where maybe we're putting in something lower here, because over here we topped out at 100, right? Many times here. But over here, we only topped out at 94. So that was a lesser of a move there, right? Where does this one top out? Watch this space, because if this one goes lower, that's another signal of a waning market right there, where you're just not getting that bullish follow through. We're seeing it here, we're seeing it here, or we kind of see it here with a quicker turnaround, or do we even get that high? Maybe we go something lower like that before we do a bearish turnaround here. This is the 4-hour, so this will have another reset in an hour from now when the daily candle closes. So there's your Bitcoin for you. A little bit of analysis there. Hope you guys found that helpful. Let me just go back into our chat room here and see what's going on here. Hey, Tony. Yeah, no bubble tarts tonight. We're doing channels tonight. Thanks you guys for also turning into the Vamp show. Got to do with Vampire Chris. He's the man. Puts out great content, and it was fun doing that show with him. I hope to do another one with him pretty soon. Crypto Natural, 20K just to start as your community leader. When amazing quality work. I appreciate that, bro. Kevin, ETC. Yeah, sure, we can take a look at ETC. Not a problem. Thanks, Skeeter. I appreciate it. Hey, Richard from the UK. It's midnight there. Yeah, it's not quite dark yet. Hello, Hello, Francisco. Hello, Jane from Madrid, Spain. I love it. Hey, Paul. What's up, buddy? B. What up, B? Jonathan. Yeah, I had a busy day today. I was trying to get a lot of stuff done. I'm working on a million different projects right now, and other stuff. So, you know, I kind of took the afternoon off here just to get that stuff done, but I'm definitely happy to be here talking to you fine folks right now. Yeah, the FOMO wicks there. I mean, these are the times when you look at a wick like this here, right? And you're like, oh, is this the big bull surge? And how many people were buying after this great move? This is where profits were taken here, you know? So I think people got a little ahead of the game there and really excited that we're breaking out of this thing here. And then all of a sudden, you know, the harsh reality of people that sold into strength versus buying into strength. You know, that's the differential there. What's up, Carl? Good afternoon to you. Crypto Omelet. Don't see a news action, but probably the fifth subwave of a nice big third for bulls or C for bears wave up. Trying to use Elliott theory to find where the high low price action goes. Volume's getting lower as the weekend starts. Yeah, that's an interesting point about the weekend here, where we definitely have times where weekend price action is always kind of touch and go. You just never know what to expect sometimes, especially on Sundays, where you have the end of week kind of candle close there, and that can add a lot of volatility sometimes, especially in the summertime where people are away. They're at the beach, you know, they're not trading crypto. You know, who wants to be in day all day Saturday? You know, trying to do this stuff when it's such a nice day outside, or if it's too hot and humid outside and maybe you are inside. And yeah, Kevin says the bulls are definitely waiting for Asia to wake up. I agree. You know, it's funny. You think about like when you see the price of Bitcoin, and if your perspective. You know, I'm in the United States, so I have a perspective of certain times. But when I go to bed, you know, Asia's waking up. You know, so how does that influence the market? And then, you know, when the West goes to sleep, how does the East, you know, affect the market and vice versa? It's tough to say. It's tough to say if you get kind of a bullish surge when Asia wakes up in the morning. I don't know if that's really what happens with that. I think a surge in the West could easily move the price, you know, just as much. So I know people like talk about that, but I'm not entirely convinced that Asia has that much influence now because this is a worldwide market. And even though Bitcoin and crypto is super huge in Asia, and let's say, face it, Asia represents a lot of, you know, when you say Asia, you're factoring in China and the Koreas, and well, not the Korea. Well, yeah, I mean, you know, and Japan and everything in there. So there's a lot of, definitely from a concentration standpoint, a lot more traders in that area. Crypto ARM, I think the next short-term move, BCC will be the ascending triangles down for a corrective second wave and down for potential fifth wave subwave. Yeah, I mean, listen, we topped out here at $8,500 here. So if this is our correction, if this is, let's say this is our wave 4 correction here, you know, and then this is our start of our fifth wave impulse of this whole, you know, bull move here, it's a very good possibility. You know, we've been watching a couple fib areas here, and we're trying to figure out extensions here. So extension of this being wave 1, let me hide my volume, okay, and basically started here at the end of 2. So this wave 3 has extended 2.236, okay, of our wave 1 here, which was just huge. This was a really nice wave 3. But is this then in wave 3, can we now basically find our 5 subwaves, um, you know, in wave 3 here? Where am I? You know, something like that. Here's our 4, and this is our 5. So in our larger 1, 2, 3, we have a completed 5 waves in our 3. And so is this our 4 here that we're basically correcting? And, you know, can we find, is this an A, B, C correction? And we have our basically start. So is this our wave 1 impulse? This is our first wave 1 impulse of our wave 5 overall. You know, these are the things that Elliott waivers definitely battle back and forth. Why do my numbers get so low again? There we go. That's better. Okay, so back in here, what do we got here? S Swartz 88 on the daily. The on LTC, do you see a large bear flag forming? Could you see this dropping and being a prelude to what BTC could do? Thanks. Great question. So let's take a look here at Litecoin. So we'll look at two Litecoin charts here. We'll look at Litecoin USD, and then we'll look at Litecoin BTC. Now, let's see here. How does my channel looking here? Yeah, so this is kind of what I think you're talking about here. Um, you know, here's our pole. This is our flag. This is flagging really long here, you know, but I guess, I mean, the poll is subjective. I guess if you want to make this thing a crazy poll, or even if you want to just maybe start it probably here at our failed breakout, you know, and then down to here. This is our flag here, okay, going this way, and we're channel bound. Like, we're definitely channel bound here. Now we do see this is our 4 hour. This red line here is our 200 MA. It was resistance right here. Boom, broke it, broke down, hugging it. Now it's acting as support once again. It's definitely an encouraging sign here, because every time recently this has been tested, it's held. So that's good. Okay, so that's a little bit of bullishness to hang on to. We're still in our lower part of our channel here, though. Our middle channel resistance is acting very, very strong. And this is our support line here. This is the make and break line here, because it's held down here when we touch 74, right? 75, okay? Now we're at 81. We can't touch this and not hold it. If we break this then we're talking about putting in lower lows, lower than 70 here, okay? So our resistance is our middle line currently. That's about 88 to 90, okay? A bull break, okay, could put the $100 Litecoin in play. Now, that's only if Bitcoin breaks real bullish, like 87.50 bullish. Then I could see Litecoin at least flirting with another test of 94, which is where it topped out the last time it topped out there. Um, but well, let's look at one more thing here. Let's look at the 4-hour RSI. Once again, this is tight. This is very tight action here. We're under 50. Okay, I don't like to see that. That you want to be over 50 at least in your RSI. There's our horizontal. Make that a brighter color here, and we'll make you harder. There we go. So this is our horizontal resistance line there. Look at right there. This is 48. Rejected. Kind of rejected. Really rejected. 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 Play around, break through. Resistance. We broke it. Couldn't hold it. Broke through it. Broke down through it. Now we're right to it again. We're up a little bit there. So if we can hold just a little bit more bullishness into the night, this will close above this line here and potentially put in some little bit more bullishness there. But you see how tight this is getting. This means this is waning. This needs to be higher than this, and we're lower still. So this move to play out needs to be back up here in the 55 area here to show bullishness reasserting itself in Litecoin. We're just not seeing it that now. Let me see if the daily adds any help here. So this is our resistance. We broke it. We couldn't hold it. We broke it again. Still flirting around here. We're over 50 though on our daily. Again, I like to be over. Are we over 50? We're right at 50. Wow. No, we're not. Look at that. Oh, that's crazy. 49.9. That's funny. So we're right under 50 at 49.9 on the daily RSI. Okay, so this is giving us, this is our make or break here. I don't like how steep this is. This looks steep to me. This looks like there's not much holding it up here. This is our support line here, this green dotted line here. So this can be retested as support once again before the bulls want to try and push Litecoin higher. But yeah, there's nothing bullish about this until we can break out of this and start to retrace things. The daily, the 55 EMA is at 93. That will be resistance as well, as it was rejected the price here. So there's a lot of weight above us, and there's not a lot of support below, basically, once you retest the low 70s again. But we're not there yet. Bitcoin still runs the show on Litecoin. There we go. There's our Litecoin BTC. Wow, we're getting close here. So I've been watching this number right here, 0.01026. This means that Litecoin is a hair over 1% the valuation of Bitcoin. Litecoin at $84, Bitcoin at $8,250 there. So we're getting very close here to an area of, I don't know what I want to call it. This is where we rejected. This is where we came down when Bitcoin shot up, and then this is where Litecoin once again hung around and then shot up. Litecoin wants to hold a 1% ratio minimum. This is a very important area here. Okay, but we've seen this bleed out on many alts because Bitcoin is sucking up all the money right now. Bitcoin runs, alts have been bleeding, not all of them, and not in the same, some have been wrecked more than others, but some have been actually held up, quite well. So we're right there again. We're right there, getting very close. Now, this is about divergence. This is about, are we going to see a change in bearish divergence with Litecoin? Where so far, when Bitcoin pops, Litecoin pops shorter. When Bitcoin drops, Litecoin drops harder. And are we going to see a change in that where Litecoin can start to accelerate and move faster and hold its gains? And we're not seeing that now. And a break of this area puts so much more lower stuff in play. And I just wanted to bring up Ethereum to show a similarity here. There we go. Oh, that's Ethereum Classic. Oh, look at that. We'll get back to this. I know Carl wanted that one there, but look at this. Look at that. Look at that. I love this. I love it when a chart shows you exactly where the support is. This is our lower trend support, right? We were talking about this last time. This is Ethereum Classic, ETC, BTC. Look at that. Okay, so now where's our resistance? This is our resistance up here, right? This is such an obvious trade here. This is so obvious. I love this triangle here. This has shown us where the breakout is, right? We had our back test, another pop, nice pop there, okay? Once this failed to hold support, you knew we were going back here, and that's exactly what happened. So this is our higher low, okay? If you bought here and now you're here, you're like, well, that's really terrible. But this is a higher low from here. The uptrend is intact until this bottom line breaks. But the question is, what happens if we can get up here? We kind of try and break this line here. Daily indicators, RSI is still kind of in the pooper. We did have a nice V bottom here. Look how low it got. 24 on the daily RSI. We had been lower, 15, 22, 21. So that's nice. That's a lovely V bottom there in the RSI. I like to see that. Let's see if we can find some bullish momentum here, because this one is bled. We also see, as we would assume to see, come on, our stochastics have a really nice turn here up. So you just wait patiently. This was your patient waiting here, you know. Stochastics bottomed out. We had another bear cross there, and then once that turned over right there, that was a good signal here that this reset potentially was over, and then boom, this was a great move right here. The question is, can it hold? Can we get up here to retest this line here? Tough to see. What's else going on in the chart? Chief Hightower looks at Neo. Let's take a look at Neo. I think I have it here. Okay, this is Neo USD. Yeah, this is similar. This is kind of similar to what we're looking at kind of in Litecoin there, where we have this very tight. Now these are tricky, okay, because yes, I see it like this, okay, but can I flag it the same way where I'm going to keep so this is one of those things here where actually I want to do that. Yeah, I want to do that. So, all right, so I give deference to the triangle here, okay? This is a wedge. I give deference to it. A bull break of here, okay? Maybe a back test, okay? And then a continuation. If we did that, I would be looking to see. All right, so this is the daily. Now you see these two candles here. So this is where we topped off. This was a great green day here, right? The second day, we put in a lower high. Let me hide this here. There we go. Okay, this wick here was a lower high than over here. So this now confirms that this is our resistance, our failure of a higher high from this candle. So that's why I'm going to put that as our top, combined, put something similar here, which is where we topped out here. So I'm seeing a flag, larger flag with our wedge here. So a bull break, I would see this here as a strong resistance, which could basically be a test of our flag and not necessary, and which would be fine because that'd be a bull break. That would put the price to about $47 here. So a bull break, I would want to see profit taking if this happens up in the high, let's say 46 to 47 area here, because this will be some strong resistance here. So we'll keep an eye on that. If we break bullish, we have to break through 37 first here, and all these EMAs, the 55, will be hard to break through. Remember, we broke it here with a wick, and we cannot hold it as well. A bear break, and yeah, this is tricky because this held 26, which was important because this was where our zone, our initial load up zone was before we went parabolic. So that's good. So we do not want to break 26, and that's what's so critical right now. This is going to be a very tight price action here. That's why what you want to watch for is the volume. You want to watch for how the price responds to this level here, and especially if we break bearish here. Now we've seen this before where you have that kind of fake and bake where you break bearish and then it shoots back up. Okay, and that's where you want to keep the volume watched here, because I think people will start to bleed out and then they'll get caught in their shorts by a bear trap. And we've seen that too, especially with a coin like NIA, which has a lot of money flow if it wants to go into it there. Chronic Gaming. Hey, Big Chonis, can we see what you think about ICX? Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's find ICX. Have a drink of my drink here. Okay, looking for ICX. There it is. Okay. Oh, interesting. All right. I remember this one. We were talking about this on my last show about the potential for this loop around. Now, because of this is it. This is it. Yeah, this 1355 area. This is our last historic support area, kind of where we had a break. And this is so subjective because this thing went bullish like nuts out of the gate. Okay, so basically 1,000 to 1,300, this is like the area of must hold turnaround, or else we get back into an area of market price discovery, and you don't want to be there because in theory this can be anything here. This is a very bearish chart here because nothing is held on the way down, and because we're getting so close to doing a full 100% reset here, the fibs would have been useless because everything was given up. You know, here was our top. Here was basically our bottom. Wick to wick, right? Okay. And then we just gave all up. We were basically giving up 80% of this whole move here. So if you went long this thing, you got wrecked. If you have a bag up here, you've been wrecked. The retrace. So yeah, so this isn't even so this is an example really of what indicators are really just pointless to use in a certain chart like this. All you're hoping for right now, all you're hoping for is an oversold bottom feeding bounce based on our previous historic start point of the parabolic move here. Now if we look at our other indicators here, again, this is a bottom feeding play with how low our RSI here. This is really low, okay? But we can see what happens when you get really low potentially in your RSI. You have a nice bullish move here though. We already had that though. This was that. This was this is, we've corrected, we're going back up here, and this is a failed breakout here. And once we broke our support line there, so this is risky, but this is also has a risk reward sentiment here where it's been beaten down. Can we find 5 waves in here? Let's just play around real quick here. 1, 2, 3. Yikes. Could this be all 3? Because 2 was so short. I mean, I guess this could be 4 or 5. It's either that, a completion of 5, or that 3 is here and 4 is beginning. Now, if 4 is beginning, then yes, this is a bullish play here, where we have one more up wave before a final 5-wave completion here. It's just hard to say if that's that. Let me see if I can try one more thing here. So we'll do that, and we'll pull this up. This is our fib retracement, and I'm doing it a fib extension, but I'm doing it in reverse. So I'm seeing how low something can go. So based on a 1-to-1 extension of our 1, we've already surpassed our 2.618 fib level there. That's interesting here. So if this was 3, yeah, because basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so there's just nothing here. This is just a very bearish chart, and if you wanted to kind of take a chance with this risk versus reward zone here, it could be a flip to get you. Let me see where the 4-hour resistance is. Yeah, our 4 hour. I mean, I look at our 55 at 1765 there. So there's and then our overall at 22. So our best case could be a pop back to 2000 satoshi on just a nice move here. We do have a little higher low. Okay, like right there. This was our low. 15,555, 15,574. So, a little first step here. 1, 2. Let's see if we can start a nice three wave here and kind of turn this around. It is saucering, though. It is saucering. This might take some time here. All right, what else we got here? ICX, yeah. Yeah, when is that real bottom in? Absolutely here. Let's see here. Can we look at XVG? Jinli, what's up, Jinli? Sure, we can look at Verge. Haven't looked at it in a while. Let's see, how beat up is it? XVG. XVG. Boom. Wow, it's under 300. Whew. All right, so this is 4 hour, guys. Let's just zoom out. Let's just get a little perspective here. This was Verge, ICO. Just nothing happened, all the way down to like 50 Satoshi. I mean, like super sub pennies, right? And then boom, 50 Satoshi to 20,000 Satoshi. Okay, 4,000% move there, right? Amazing. And then we gave it all back, a lot of it back at least. So where are we here? So let's do a fib retrace. Okay, so this was our bottom. This was our top. 23% correction, 38 correction. This is our 50% of this move correction, right? 61, couldn't hold it. 78, couldn't hold it. That was our last place here. Remember that? We were bouncing around here. We found support. We bounced. Double bottom, bounced, fail, came back up. Oops, can't see it now. Right here, we did a retest, right? Rejection of the 76 once again, and then we're trickling down here. Maybe we're putting in a higher low here. Okay, we did bottom here at 274. We held 284. Okay, so maybe this is where you want to see a move here, but this has just gotten just demolished. I mean, I hate to say how much of a pump and dump this looks like. You have your parabolic move, you have your dead cat parabolic move, and then certainly you're just correcting from that. And the fact that we have a lower low here than back in our March lower low basically says this whole thing can continue to unwind. Now, if we don't hold here, if we don't bounce here, where are we kind of looking? Yeah, it's like right there. Is that even there? Maybe. Yeah, I mean, maybe 230, and then from there, I'm looking at a very strong support at 176. So, brutal. BTC, what's going on with BTC? Is there something happening here? Did you FOMO? Who FOMO'd? Back over 82. Yeah, we're not really dumping here. I mean, so let's look at our candles here. So this is our hour. I mean, this is our last hour before we close the night here. So, okay, interesting. So remember we were talking about how we looked really bullish here. This upward angle here, we just broke it. We just broke our support right here that has held us up through the day. Now, where do you want to hold? I mean, it's so obvious right there. 8144. Right there. Yeah, 8144. That's fine. Let's touch 8144, trickle around, and bounce up there. You break this candle happened quick. It can fall quick. So where's our next support there? Right there. 7994. Yeah, right at 8,000. Yeah, so there's still supports under us here. Right there, and then basically right at 8,000. High, low, higher low. Sorry, higher high, lower high, right? And then we broke the pattern, okay? So this is our bottom here, 8,000. that we really want to hold. We hold this and we break bullish again, then we confirmed our higher high and we put in a higher low on this turnaround if we come back to 8,000. So something to keep an eye on there. And of course, with this move, this makes our daily candle look a little different, right? Let's hide there. You know, I knew it. I knew it when this candle about an hour ago was very high here. There was hardly any wick. And I'm like, I just can't see this candle closing that bullish on a day like this. And sure enough, there's a little wick now continuing to form. Remember, we talked about $67 ago. So in the next half hour, bulls are going to want to keep this thing moving and make this wick look as small as can be. They also want to keep the bullish engulfing. So we'll close above 81.76 would close it right at a more or less bullish engulfing handle there. So that's something that you want to see as well. At least the bulls want to see that and keep that going there as well. Let's see what else we got here. Karma Badeshi, Tron, sure. We'll do Tron, and then we'll go back to B&B Kevin. How's that sound? Let's see here. TRX. Okay, so this is our daily. Okay, so we had pretty interesting spinning top and decision candle here. We had a bullish continuation. We had a bearish candle here. I see this one as a bearish candle yesterday. Definitely, excuse me, feeling more shooting stars. And today, this is kind of bearish again because we're just not seeing the follow through in our volume. Now, we are holding into this range here. So I think I can show it better on the 4 hour. Yeah, so, here was our low. Oh, that's why. Let's do this. Okay. So here was our low. Here was our high, right? Here was our higher low, okay? Here was our lower high. So we're getting very tight now in our equilibrium, okay? Where this was our low, this was our high. We want to break this thing here, but really we might be putting in, well, it depends here, because this, if we double tap this low candle here, this low support here, that would be bad because we haven't double tapped yet, although we did put in a lower low than we did here. Oh, we broke equilibrium. That's interesting. So actually our equilibrium was higher, where we went high, low, high, lower low. So we just broke a couple 4 hours ago, so 8 hours ago. This was a bearish break here of our other equilibrium, putting a lower equilibrium, but we still held our overall thing here. So there's nothing happening here. We're just going sideways. The volume's not showing it yet. Our RSI is just dead stick, right? Yeah, there's our resistance line right there. Resistance, broke it, touch support, bull break, bear break. So best case is we can loop up again and retest this line here at 41 on the daily. Where are we on our RSI? Yeah, see, we're still under 30 in our daily RSI here. So this is still bottom feeding area. This is still like, there's no trend change here. You clearly can tell we just get rejected and we get rejected and we try and break higher. We get rejected. Are we seeing anything there? Support. That's kind of sloppy. I don't know. That's maybe there. Yeah, I mean, maybe there's a back test on that's why we held support there. Right? This was our line of resistance. We broke it. We didn't back test it, and this is our back test. So we're just right there. We got to get over 30 on our RSI on the daily, or else no one's going to be really interested in this. But we can do that if we can put in a higher low and break this equilibrium bullish, putting us basically higher than 470, really like 480. If we can get over 480 with some volume, then we can start talking about moving higher here. But this looks like Verge, just kind of that trickle down here, capitulation, and now we're starting to put in areas where we don't want to get back to, which is in threes, and it's possible. Oh yeah, I was going to do BNB for big C. BNB, Binance Coin. So, yeah, okay. So this was one that had a parabolic move out of the gate. A lot of money made here, right? Our pullback. Okay, initially we found support on our 200 MA daily. We broke it. And these are one of those things that you guys have to remember that. I love seeing this here where, with support. Oh, and this is major support. The 200 MA on the daily will always act as major support and major resistance. So it broke bearish, and everyone's like, oh, God, this is really going to be bloody. And then we shot back up here. And this is kind of that fake out that smart traders like to look at, where you have a real fear that the 200 didn't hold. And this was just prime picking, load up, and then bull break it. And that's gorgeous. Now, can we see what caused it? Can we get any clicker? Yeah, it was right there. So on the 4-hour, we had a very tight zone here. We were just holding 14,425, got bought up, and our volume in these candles, yeah, just gorgeous follow through, and even the sell-offs have been bought up, and now we're finding support on the 4-hour 55 EMA. Yeah, so this is bullish here, but we have our blue line here, our 100-day MA on our daily, our 4-hour at 17.6 here. So that's kind of our next resistance area. And then from an actual price standpoint, yeah, about 17.5 is where your kind of history is there. Nothing changes. Where's our mean? Yes, so all right, so there's two things here. See this line here? Touched it right here. We touched it again. And now we broke bearish on it pretty significantly. So this is your best case. Your best case is you want to touch this line here. And I swear, if you're holding this long and you get up here to this line here, that's a take profit area here, because I like when major lines of support, which this was, break, and then they like to get back tested. And that's kind of what it looks like we're seeing here, where the price wants to get back up here to around 19 maybe. But see our red here, this is our 4-hour 200. This is our major resistance if we can break our 100 here. And this looks like it could coincide with this line here as well. So we do have a clear V bottom recovery in progress here that could take the price to clearly 19.5 if we can get through the blue 100 before any major resistance happens. And if you're riding this one, that could be a good take profit area there as well. What else we got here? Vine, Loash, wants some strat. We can do some strat. Once again, guys, thanks for joining me here. We're approaching the hour of our show here, so we'll do just a couple more. Take a quick look at Bitcoin, and then we'll call it a day. Once again, this is my 20,000 Twitter follower spectacular show. I'm just happy that I'm just ecstatic that I got to 20K, and hey man, here's to the next 20K, right? So this is Strat. Yikes. So look at, we're basically putting in we've broken through our fail safe right here, right here, and we broke through it. Now this could be an example of when you break the major support people sell off and then you buy the blood, and the fact that it popped back up and now we're right above this line here. So 34.78, this is your must hold line here. This is your must hold line here. Now this could be a take a chance thing here. We have a very tight 4-hour RSI. Look at that. It's so coiled here. There's a bigger move here coming because how coiled this is. This is a very tight equilibrium here. Bet you our daily looks like just crap, right? No, it's actually, yeah, this is interesting. We actually have a little bit more bullishness on our daily RSI. Yeah, right there. So 41, this is our point of rejection here. 40, 41, 42. I'd say 40, 41 right there. Daily RSI. This is our very strong rejection. You break above this, okay, and we can start talking about a bullish uptrend. You get rejected here, and this is just going to keep going lower. The fact that the RSI is at 40, where the price has been so beaten down as it is, I don't like that. I don't like that because I almost feel like the RSI can now fall further, okay, without the price. So basically the price can fall a lot, the RSI has room to fall. But on the daily, we still have a bull cross in progress, okay? We didn't reset all the way here. Again, I don't like that. I like to reset. Double top, bull cross, okay? But let's see follow through. We keep seeing wick. This is the daily, the past 3 days. Every time we break out, it gets sold off. This is our third day with a long upper wick here. So we got to break that channel, that pattern too. Bull break, I'd say next stop is 3,400. Okay, maybe 1,000 Satoshi there if we can break bullish. That's our next area of confluence of price history, 42 to 4,400 Satoshi there. So it's not bad in terms of what I could see a nice bottom play here once again. But until we can break above 42 in our RSI daily, that's our resistance to move higher there. All right, let's do some Bitcoin and then we'll call it a show. Once again, guys, thank you so much for joining me. All right, what are we doing here with Bitcoin? Let's see, which graph do I want to look at? Let's go back to our channel graph here. Let's go to our hourly. Aha! So look at this. Hourly chart, blue line, 100 MA, fine support. Definitely broke bearish. How far did we go? 124. Remember, we were talking about how we want to hold 145 and we broke through it. Interesting. That's interesting there. So we wanted to hold that. We're going a little bearish now, but we are finding support on our 100 EMA. That's good. Like to see EMAs tested and held. Remember, it was resistance here on this wick, right? And now it's support. So that's bullish from that standpoint, even though the price did pull back. Let's see a swing up there. Remember, when you break this line here, now this line becomes the next flip around target. So are we going to retest our middle channel support? Are we going to fade into the evening and test our bottom support? Hold 8,000, you can go higher. If we break 8,000 again with conviction, we're going to retest our lower channel support around 7,900 all the way up to 8,000 there. We have good support here on our hourly as well at 77.97. A bigger picture here. Go to our 4-hour. Oh, I didn't do my TD. I'll do a quick TD here. We're looking for which chart shows the best TD. On the 4-hour, we're only on a 3. On our daily, we haven't even started one because we're still caught in our perfected 9 candle. Our hourly, we have a really nasty red 2. We never got to. Interesting. So I think a lot of people in the hourly were looking for 2 more hours to get to the green 9, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. People got trapped there, okay? Oh, 2 more hours of a green 9. No, your green 9 was actually a really nasty red 2 there. So we're not really seeing any help right now with our TD. Yeah, 3, nothing is showing. Maybe our 6, I think we're 12-hour. A red 3, yeah. So we still got a ways to go before anything definitive is being shown on our TD. So guys, be safe out there. You don't have to force this. Bitcoin is still in a bullish uptrend until proven otherwise. I want to test these lines here. Remember, when we break a major resistance line, I like a back test. Support, support, support. Resistance broken. Came back up, broke bullish. Resistance, 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 broke bullish. Both of these lines here, this one and this one of them is going to be tested. Well, obviously this one's going to be tested first. If this doesn't hold, then this one's going to be tested. A bullish scenario will make this one hold more. Remember, this one rolls all the way up to $7,700, $7,800, heading way into August. This one can bring us way down to the low 7,000s here. I do expect these lines to be tested at some point on some sort of pullback. But right now, we're still in our bull channel. All systems look good. Our volume looks strong. We can keep this sideways price action. We break our bull channel, and then definitely lower supports are at hand. We break our middle channel resistance. We can definitely test our upper channel there as well. So, with that note, guys, have a great Friday evening. Have a great weekend, right? Have some fun this weekend. I'll update you guys as things go on. I'm working on some projects, as I said. I'm hoping to get some more information on that potentially over the weekend. Keep posted on that. Once again, guys, thank you so much for joining me here in the chat room. Kevin, Crypto Omnet, Chief Hightower, Carl, you guys are my friends, my boys, my girls. Thank you so much for joining me across the world. I like seeing people in different countries. I think it's so cool. And stay tuned, guys. There's lots of exciting stuff happening in the future. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for Bitcoin and crypto as a whole. So much opportunity here. Remember, guys, can find me on Twitter. I am at Big Chonis. Have a great weekend. We will talk to you all very, very soon.